Thank you. That was wonderful. Noreen, Randy, and Renee. And today we have a special guest vocalist, Prissy. Good to see you again. And good morning, everyone. Uh, I'm I got a little off track there, but hello. I'm Michael Avery, and I'm proud and honored and blessed to be your platform host. And I will be sharing the platform with our dear friend TJ Woodward and Amy Batchelor. And I already talked about the musicians, and just wait, they're going to rock it here. Well, TJ always comes up with these kind of provocative, stimulating, thought-provoking, I guess would be a good phrase, topics, messages. And today, the message that he's going to share is the courage to be fully you. Now, what jumped out at me was the word courage. And so I went to my copy of the Revealing Word, and I said, let me see what Charles had to say about courage. And he says, a spiritual quality that enables one to remain poised and centered in God amidst great difficulties and danger. The realization that the Almighty God of the universe is a spiritual presence which is constantly striving to express in and through us fills us with new courage, a fearlessness that is beyond description. Be strong and let your heart take courage. That's Psalms 31:24. Yeah. Woo woo. I'll go along with that. Now we have a few announcements. Very few, but if you want a double dose of TJ, he's going to have a workshop in the chapel at noon. So after fellowship, pop on in, and it's called Unmasking the Authentic Self. We're talking about being who we truly are, I believe, today, and you'll get that in spades. Now mark your calendars. There's always something going on here at Unity of Santa Barbara, and Amy will be sharing her journey through the chakras with her crystal bowls this Friday at 7 p.m. And I encourage you to come out. It will be an experience you will not forget. It will move your soul, heart, and your entire being. So, and a couple Sundays back, Rev Phil talked about sacred service. And we're going to take that a step further. As I mentioned last Sunday, we're going to, on the 6th of September, we're going to have a Lunch and Learn orientation for anyone that is led to serve here at Unity of Santa Barbara. Now, I just invite you to follow your hearts. And if you want to learn more and enjoy lunch with your Unity friends, Rev Phil will be zooming in from Minneapolis, and Clifton and myself and Patricia will be here to introduce you to what we have experienced and what volunteer opportunities, what sacred service opportunities exist. So that is that one. We're also, and I talked about this last week as well, we need more people like me up here, okay? So we need platform hosts. We want to engage everyone that is moved to be part of this. Ron threw his hat in the ring last week, and we will be scheduling an orientation. Russ Chafin and I will be, and we'll probably invite Rev Phil in as well, because he's been doing this for 50 years and has a lot of knowledge. So there'll be that, and we also want you that are led to speak from here and share the daily word. Amy Bassler will be doing that today. I surprised her and I reached out and I said, hey. And she said yes. So, now, this brings us to where we're at as a community. We've talked about this time and time again. We're evolving, we're in transition. Not only are we anchoring ourselves to the foundational principles and teachings of unity, but we're learning to create co-create with God the mission that we're given. And it's not based on who's standing here, whether it be, Temple or any of the ministers that have been or will be. It has to do with who we are. And that is represented in the evolutionary purpose statement. So let's move forward on that one. Jim, can you pop that up for me? Here we go. One more there. Now if you'll join me and begin with we are. We are transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. Yes, we are. Yes, yes, yes. Now, Santa Barbara, as always, Santa Barbara, Unity of Santa Barbara, we light the peace candle. The world needs more peace, more than ever, and we want to focus on the peace and send it out into the world. Now I want to ask you to join me as we affirm the first principle of unity. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Now, if you'll please stand and join Prissy as we sing, It's in Every One of Us. And I'm sure you know the words, but she'll lead you away.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us. I just remembered, it's like I've been sleeping for years. I'm not awake as I can be, but my seeing's better. I can see through the tears. I've been realizing that I bought this ticket and I've been watching only half of the show. But there is scenery and lights and a cast of thousands who all know what I know. And it's good that it's so.
Thank you, Prissy. Now, if you'll just say hello to your neighbor and share a little love. Matter of fact, share a lot of love. All right. Get one last hug and find your chair. Yeah. We're ready to get to the next. And on that note, Amy Batchelor, are you ready to come on up?
Thank you. That's to get you all to be quiet. So when Michael, was it Friday night, I think, said, "Will you read the Daily Word?" It reminded me of when my daughter was in second grade, which was long ago, and her teacher said, they were in a reading group, and her teacher said, "Becky, would you like to read out loud?" And Becky very politely said, "No, thank you." The teacher said she had never had that happen before. But I said yes, so here we go. So the daily word for today, I am prosperous in all ways. To be prosperous may include financial wealth and possessions, but it is so much more. It includes spiritual wealth and health, as well as joy and satisfaction. Today I focus on the ways in which I am prosperous, and I realize the many ways I am blessed. We are blessed. I experience prosperity through my material comforts, but I also feel prosperous through the amazing functioning of my physical body and my active mind. I am prosperous through the spiritual bond I have with God and the deep peace it gives me. I am grateful for my prosperity in its many manifestations. I give thanks I am thoroughly blessed and prospered in mind, body, and soul. And from Isaiah 65, it says, "Then you shall see and be radiant. Your heart shall thrill and rejoice, because the abundance of the sea shall be brought to you. The wealth of the nations shall come to you." So way beyond money, we are prosperous in so many ways. And I just think of the blessings that we have being here at Unity of Santa Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, it's the time that we welcome all guests here and online. And we're so happy that you have chosen Unity of Santa Barbara. And we look forward to serving you. And as you know, we do reach out to many, many, many people via live stream. And Bent, this is a little hot. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. And we're reaching out more, as a matter of fact. Our social media, Bent Migan and Jim has been working on the social media piece, and we are doing reels. If you haven't seen them, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and we're all over the web right now. And we're reaching more and more people every day. I saw one reel that had gotten, that was of Daryl, one of his talks, and it had over 1,000 views. So it's really giving people the knowledge of this place, this sacred place that we call home. Now we also do, as we've talked about, we do reach out to the senior communities, and Oak, yes, I lost my place. Anyway. Yep, I was wanting to say Oak Creek, and and that's in Arizona. I was there years ago. Oak Cottage Memory Care, and it is a very special place. And they are with us every Sunday. Now, are there any new guests here? Are there anyone here for the very first time? Well, I guess it's Old Home Week. Thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. But also, we do have mala beads. And Mel, thank you for these. I appreciate that. Let's see, and our youth. Now, we do have, they are meeting in the chapel these days, and it's really revitalized and re-energized that area. So the kids will join us, maybe. It's kind of, Susie leaves it up to them. They kind of vote on it, whether they're going to come in or not. So we don't know. I look for them back there at the end of service. And we do believe in the power of prayer. And we offer full prayer support. Are there any chaplains in attendance today? Catherine Weisenberg. Thank you, Catherine. And Catherine will be up here in front. If you do have a prayer request, she will pray with you in confidence, and if you would prefer, there is a prayer box. There's two of them. There's one in the breezeway and one in the atrium right around the corner. And if you'll put your prayer request there, we will pray with you, whatever your heart needs. Now, also, I mentioned the chapel. The Shirley Campbell Chapel is available for prayer when it is not in use. It's rather busy these days, but if it is not, you're welcome. And also, the foyer has been spiffied up a bit, and there is a lending library there. So if you want a quiet spot to read, and you're led to grab a book from the bookshelf, feel free and just explore to your heart's content. Now, Prissy will lead us in I Rise Up as we prepare for our meditation.
I rise up, here I go. I rise up, here I go. I release my limitations and lay my burdens down. I rise up, here I
limitations are you ready to let go of? Do you realize that souls stand in line to get a gig on earth? It's not a spa vacation coming to earth, but you all chose to be here. You all said yes when you heard the call, and we are here to share our medicine and for our soul's growth. But then we have limitations put on us by our culture, our parents, our schools, our governments, whatever it is. So what limitations can you be aware of that you're ready to lay them down, to give them up, to break free? And as TJ is going to talk about, to be your authentic self, to be the person, the expression of your soul that you came here to be. It's time to rise up. Like in The Lord of the Rings, when Strider was told, take off your cloak and be who you're meant to be. Aragorn, the king. So step into your magnificence. Release the burdens and be who you're meant to be. Choose a higher timeline. Choose it now. Lay the burdens down. As we go deeper into this meditation, what are you ready to release so your magnificence can shine forth?
There's an old prayer that goes something like, Dear God, please help me to be the person that my dog thinks I am. Many times we have someone in our life, or maybe it is our dog or our cat, that when we're down, we know that that someone believes in us and loves us no matter what. So I invite you, for me it was my grandmother, I invite you to just bring the image, the feeling in your heart of whomever that was that you know believed in you and trusted, even when you're having a bad day. For some of us, it's God. For some of us, it's our grandmother. And for some of it's our dog or cat. So please just bring that into your heart. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, yes, I believe what you say of me. I believe. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Oh, and you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. And you say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, yes, I believe what you say of me. Yes, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every failure now, you have every victory. Ooh, and you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. And you say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, yes, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe, yes, I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to follow you because I just want to acknowledge you. Can you please come up for a moment? Wow. Did everyone feel that?
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I just feel so moved by that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a demonstration of the courage to be fully me. So thank you for demonstrating that for us. And as I often say, music opens the heart in a unique way that where words are limited. So, okay, we're done then. We can all leave now. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, Unity. Oh my goodness, I am so moved, and thank you, Amy, for that incredible incredible, the bowls, the vibration. I'm actually going to invite us to just take a moment, let it settle, because we move sometimes so quickly to the next thing. Letting the energy of that meditation and that beautiful song really move within us. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I think that was for me, just to allow myself to become fully present after that moving experience, and that the lyrics of that song are absolutely what we're here to discuss today, and the beautiful meditation as well, and of course what you read as well about courage. So I feel like my job is so easy now. I get to stand up and just simply repeat or channel some of what has already been said. When the title came through me and to me, the courage to be fully you, the word that actually stuck out for me is you. What does it mean? What is the me that we're referring to? This might be a provocative statement, so I'm preparing some of you. How many people have been at Unity for less than 1 year, in the Unity teachings for less than a year? Okay, welcome. Unity started in the late 1800s, not as a church or a religion, but as a spiritual study group. And I think it's important to acknowledge that, because it was about embodying spiritual principles in a practical way in daily living. That is the anchor of it. And if you're new to Unity, this statement that I'm going to make might seem a little provocative, but I'm going to say it. True humility is to know that we are God. And yet, many of us have been taught the exact opposite of that. I had an interesting conversation with someone in the last week about arrogance. And some would say, how arrogant to say that I am God. And I will say, how arrogant to say that I am not. And when I say I mean all of us. To understand and to know the essential truth of who and what we are, that we did come in as a spark of divinity. To know that is the greatest act of humility, because humility, that courage that we spoke of, is to understand the very nature of our being, that we did come in as this spark of divinity, and then yes, the world started teaching us all these limitations. And so if you want to truly see God, find a 2-year-old and spend a minute looking into their eyes, because they're going to look. They're going to be right there with you. Spend that minute remembering who and what you are, because they're closer to the remembrance. And some of us have been around a little bit longer than 2 years on the planet, so maybe we've collected some ideas about ourselves. I was just thinking, I don't know where this visual came from, but I was just thinking about wearing this big coat and like just as I'm walking, just gathering up all the dust on the floor, right? And that seems like that could be part of the life's journey. I came in and I was this effervescent little being, absolutely knowing that I'm a spark of divinity, absolutely knowing that I'm an effervescent, infinite being. And then the world started to teach me all of these things. And some of them were said to me, and many of them were modeled to me or for me. And I'm going to say for me because I, at one point, when I came into Unity teachings, I thought it was about being rid of. I must get rid of my limitation. I must get rid of my negative thinking. There are sometimes in Unity, we even teach that the crucifixion is crossing out negative thinking. I think we've evolved a bit since then. What if we love all parts? What if, rather than being at odds with that part of me that I might call the ego or the personality, or that coat of all those dust bunnies that I've collected along the way that have become what I call reality, and I could love those to the point where they no longer run the show. Because ego in some spiritual circles gets a bad rap. Be rid of the ego. But in the awakened state, the ego serves as the vehicle or the delivery system for the essential spiritual nature that we are. And that will look different for each one of us. We all have a unique blueprint. I don't know if we come in with a unique blueprint. There was a lot of astrology talk this morning, so I'm like gonna just acknowledge it. I had like 4 conversations about astrology. I will say I am a big Leo. I don't know if you can tell by the bright blue shoes and the spotlight, but I'm curious. Okay, I'm also curious about something. And I know there's going to be some astrology people that are going to talk to me after about this, and that's okay. I wonder how much of that is programming. Because I was taught from an early age, you're a Leo, you're going to love the spotlight, you're going to dance, you're going to be, and I was like, oh, am I? Oh, I am, right? And it could be that astrology is real. It's not the ultimate truth of who and what we are. Because the ultimate truth of who and what we are is infinite. And even the very construct of something like astrology starts to place limitations on us. Well, you're a Virgo. You know what that means, right? It means all sorts of things. You were told all sorts of things. I know he's a Virgo, by the way. Right? You have these things that you've been told. And so I'm curious if that's the blueprint or if that's the programming that we received. And I will, for those of you who are true astrologers, I understand that it's not about our sun sign. There's a lot more. So just to also check in with y'all. Sun, moon, and Mercury in Leo. So I think I do naturally stand up here. Right? Look at that face. Yes. Oh my goodness. It all makes sense now. You know what's so funny about life? That makes sense. Doesn't it? That makes sense. And so this idea that we can, rather than say, how do I be rid of what I call negative, whether that's life experience, a program, an idea, my astrological sign, my race, my ethnicity, socioeconomic status I grew up in. I just knew I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. And it's not even true, but that was my story. Somehow my story was, we just didn't have enough. And I grew up in this idea there's never enough. And I know I've said this so many times here, and I love repeating some of the messages my mother, God love her. Sometimes she watches. So hi, Mom, if you're watching, you know we've made peace. I mean, I will tell you, we have made peace in a beautiful way. Thank you for that, because it took many years for me to make peace with my parents, because guess what? I blamed them for everything at one point. And it was really, are you ready? Fun. It's their fault, not mine. And have you ever noticed that in the world, when something happens, one of the first questions we go to is, who's to blame? And yet, blame is a very low frequency. Blame can keep me stuck. And yes, I say it was fun, and the reason I say it was fun is then I didn't need to be accountable for my life. And at some point, I took blaming others and turned it inward and started blaming myself. And that also kept me stuck. So when I encountered this idea, a what-if question, that everything that's ever happened in my journey has been perfect to bring me to this moment, which is very different than everything happens for a reason. Because I like to be controversial. Our New Thought friends, everything doesn't happen for a reason in the way that we talk about it. That there's some idea, this force, this something that's controlling the world, and I know what I'll do. I'll make sure you don't get a parking space so you can learn about frustration. I don't think I'm the center of the universe in that way. And yet, everything that's happened is fuel for my own transformation if I choose it. And the reason I say fuel for my transformation is, this is not about raising our consciousness or even evolving or even growing spiritually. What? This isn't about growing spiritually? Spiritually, we're already whole, complete, and perfect. Spiritually, we're already abundant and infinite. Spiritually, there is nothing that needs to change. What I am on a journey of exploring for myself is everything that I get to lovingly question, dismantle, and allow to gently float away so that I can remember the truth of who and what I am. So no, I don't grow spiritually. I grow in awareness of my spiritual essence. And how is that different? How that's different from me is I need to grow spiritually implies that I'm not there. And I spent about 20 years in New Thought saying I wasn't there yet. One day I will be awakened. I've heard Unity ministers stand up and say, well, we're not ever going to be fully awakened. Wait a minute, what? That's not the teaching. We're all awakened. Our personality self might not know it yet. So I did have someone ask me, do you really walk around only seeing love and light, only experiencing oneness, only seeing love and connection in everyone's face? Yes, I do, but sometimes I forget. And when I forget, I can also remind myself of who and what I truly am. And so if it's true, what Unity says, the foundational principle, there's one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotent. That means God, source, love, energy. That truth is always everywhere, all the time, present fully as an embodied experience of myself. And then I have these other things that I've decided about myself that have kept that limited. And so the light is shining brightly, and I have all this stuff on top of it, so I can't quite express the light. And when I believe, as the lyric said so beautifully, I hear you say I'm loved, but I can't feel that. I know that was a paraphrase. I know on some level the truth of what I am is infinite, that my spiritual nature is abundance itself, that I'm literally an expression of this one power and this one presence, and yet my experience of it on a daily basis doesn't always reflect that. So what needs to happen? I need to fight that and get rid of it and be over it and move on and all the stuff we do. No, what about this? Loving all parts. Loving the parts of me when I was a little kid and didn't have the ability to understand what was happening in the world. So my brilliant strategy was to close my heart. Along with that brilliant strategy of closing my heart, I was prevented from receiving and giving love, which is the fundamental experience of being human. And because I had lost sight of that, I wanted the world to bring me that. And that's when I said, I'm going to manifest all the things that will make me happy. And I haven't talked about the 4 levels of consciousness in a while, so I'm going to talk about it just briefly. And this is something, the very first talk I ever did at Unity, I think it was in 2005 or 6, was Beyond Metaphysics. And I had, in meditation, downloaded or uploaded or sideloaded or whatever I did, this idea that we have these different levels of conscious awareness, and these aren't, we don't graduate from one and go to the next, and this one's the better one and this is the best one, because it's not better to be 65 than it is to be 7. It's just different stage of life experience. And so as I say these 4 levels of consciousness, I invite you to look at, on a daily basis, how you can fall into any one of these. And I've given them all words that start with M because I think it's clever and hopefully easier to remember. Level 1 is martyr consciousness. The world is happening to me. I am a victim of the world. The world is happening to me, and I need to find someone or something outside of myself to relieve the experience of the pain I am feeling. Can we see how much of the world is operating at that level of consciousness? It's your fault that I'm having this experience, or it's my fault that I'm having this experience. So blame lives in this consciousness. The world is happening to me. Martyr. Then we move into magical thinking. Maybe we come to Unity and we hear about affirmations and we start doing these vision boards and we say, no, the world isn't happening to me. I make it happen. I am the creator of my own reality. I change my thinking and I change my life. I use affirmations. I start to use positive thinking. Maybe I have the rubber band. I know we've talked about the rubber band, right? Oh my gosh, negative thought. Psh, don't have that thought. Psh, the universe will get you, psh, right? That's the magical thinking phase. And it's an important one. I want to be clear. It's a beautiful phase because to move from I'm a victim of the world and I have no power The world is just happening and I'm experiencing it coming at me, to know I am the creator of my own reality. I have within me the ability to change my thinking and change my life. Magical thinking. And then we move into this place that I call metaphysical, which is the world happens through me. So the world happens to me, I make it happen, it happens to me, I make it happen, to I allow it to happen, or things happen through me. This is where we start to say, God lives in my heart. This is where we use terms like channeling. This is where we say, Spirit is moving through me. It's no longer this idea of someone or something out there. It's something that I can experience and I can actually use. We might use love, because the core of this particular level is emotion. The emotion, we move into the heart. So we say the longest journey is from the head to the heart. That's from that magical thinking into metaphysical. And that's where many of us live and have lived for many, many years. And yet there's this other opportunity, this other level of awareness that I call mystical, which is at one ment. The wonder. The world happens to me, I make it happen, I let it happen, the world happens as me. So to me, I make it happen, through me, as me. And all that is a remembrance of who and what we truly are that's beyond the programming. And at that level, when I understand that all is one, and we're all one, expressions of one power and one presence, like Unity has been saying for hundreds of years, or however long it's been. I'm great with math, can you tell? Whatever the late 1800s was. To understand that level of consciousness is actually an experience. It's not a thought, it's not an emotion. It is an experience, a deep knowing of who and what we are. And the great news is, it's not something that we attain or move toward, it's something that we remember. So as I start to lovingly appreciate all parts, love all parts, and start to question, because to me it's not about moving beyond or letting go of, it's about questioning. Isn't it interesting that I have this thought? Isn't it interesting that I've been told this about money and this about relationships? Isn't it interesting that I've been taught this about God or this about spirituality? And isn't it also wonderful to know that I came into the world as this spark of divinity, and that's who and what I am. And at that level, then the personality self becomes the vehicle, as I said. Then we spend quality time in the silence asking inner wisdom, who have I come here to be as a unique expression of spirit? Because that's going to look different for each one of us. There's not a teaching or a belief system. It's a being system. How's that? Not a belief system, a being system. Who I have come here to be, because then we shift from, as I often say, from the law of attraction to the law of radiance. Knowing who and what I am, and lovingly questioning all the ideas I've accumulated that have kept me believing in my own limitation. And to anchor in that, and to be that, and to feel that in some way that feels like an emotion, but it's really a vibrational experience, because life is frequency. And when I understand it's not thoughts that create reality, but it's the frequency that's attached to the thought, I can bypass trying to change my thinking and just say, oh, isn't that interesting what my mind is doing? Because my mind is filled with all sorts of ideas about the world. And I did spend, as I often say, 20 years trying to change my thinking. Anyone done that? How has that gone? Mixed, I'm going to say probably mixed results, right? Because you know what? I have learned to focus on the positive more. I have learned to say things in a different way. And I have learned that words do have power, not because of the words themselves, but because of the frequency that I'm attaching to the word. So I have this word that I've been using, and I've been, I'm just broken, right? I'm just broken isn't what creates my experience of brokenness. What creates it is this right here. I'm so broken. And when I believe I'm broken, not only as a thought or an emotion, but as an experience, then I see that everywhere in the world. That's what we call reality. And at some levels of awareness, we think that's just happening. That's just the way it is. And as we awaken to a greater reality and start to lovingly question all of these thoughts and ideas that we've accumulated, isn't that interesting? Thank you for sharing. I know I've said this before, but remember in I Love Lucy when they're doing the chocolate? They have that, right? So I think of thoughts that way. Oh, look at all these thoughts. Ooh, look at them. They're just coming. Which one am I going to grab? Which one am I? And then, they're shoving them in their mouth, right? And so that's what I think of with these thoughts. Oh my gosh, look at this thought. Why am I doing that? Why am I saying that? All the ideas I have about the world, they're just going by. And I can pause and I can allow them to move by. And then I can start to become curious. If I'm not those thoughts on the conveyor belt, who or what am I? And if there's an observer that's beyond the thought, who or what is that observer? And so the courage to be fully you is to realize that I have thoughts, but I'm not my thoughts. And to stand in and anchor in and embody energetically and with the frequency of infiniteness, those thoughts lose their power. And all those ways that I got caught. We disagree. I believe this. I'm better than you. I'm less than you. I'm worse than you. Why are you so good? Why are they getting their spotlight and I'm not? Very Leo. But to be the observer and to anchor in and stand in like the lighthouse standing there shining. What's the cliche? A lighthouse doesn't go looking for boats to save. It just stands there shining. That's who and what we've come to be. The courage to be fully you is to simply know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Are you ready? A shadow of a doubt that love is who we are. And if there's a shadow of a doubt, do you hear that term? The shadow of the doubt. The conveyor belt, here comes doubt. And it's casting a shadow on my light. And I can say, ooh, yeah, I want to try to take all those thoughts that have kept me feeling stuck. Or I can say no. Because the sacred no is sometimes a very powerful doorway into the sacred yes. In the end, and this is what I'll close with, all of this may sound confusing. It may sound, you may resonate with this. This may sound true. And then what's the point? So what's the point to all of this if this is true, that we have these thoughts and they're going by and I'm a lighthouse and I stand here shining? I'm no longer going to believe I'm a victim. I'm going to create my life and then I'm going to channel and then I'm going to be the love. But to what end? What's the point? The point is this. In the end, as I stand here shining as the light that I am, as each of us understands who we really are and has the courage to stand in that, the world changes. And I don't mean the conditions of the world, but the way I see the world changes. And then ultimately, in the end, to me, it's about how I can serve. When I believe I'm broken, how can I possibly be of service in the world? When I believe I'm limited, all I'm going to try to do in the outer world is try to remove limitation. It's like changing deck chairs on the Titanic. Right? Let's change this. Instead, let's remember who and what we are and stand in that truth and spend enough time in the silence to ask inner wisdom, what is my unique expression? What's my blueprint so that I can serve the world, not save the world? Serve the world, not save the world. Serving the world from this paradigm is serving from this awareness of the essence of who and what we are. And to know, if I know that for me, I see that for you. And as we talked about earlier, that one person that saw you, everyone thought of someone, right? The one person who saw you. For me, it was my mentor, Mary Helen. She saw me as love and light, and I saw me as damaged and broken. And it was in her seeing me that it started to, this idea of myself started to they just went by on the conveyor belt. Oh yeah, I know who I am. I now understand what was required of her in order to be able to do that. Because if she believed she was broken, she couldn't possibly see me as whole, complete, and infinite. And so my invitation for each of us, as it always is to go into the world and experiment with this. What is it like to be loved, to be light, to notice if you have a thought of limitation, and not to flick the rubber band, but just to allow it to go by on the conveyor belt. Thank you for sharing. I know who I am. Thank you for sharing. I know who I am. Let's do this together. Thank you for sharing. I know who I am. Thank you for sharing. I know who I am. This is fun. Thank you for sharing. I know. Let's do the visual. Thank you for sharing. I know who I am. Thank you for sharing. I know who I am. I am love. I am light. I am joy. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was wonderful. Now, where are we? Oh, I was so enthralled there that I got kind of caught up in that. Now's the time that we prepare for our offering, and this is the time for those of us who call Unity of Santa Barbara our spiritual home. We get to practice co-ownership, and we want to co-own and co-build and serve this ministry. As an integral ministry community, we understand that giving is more than supporting a church. It is participating in a shared purpose. Our financial contributions are one of the ways we take responsibility for the health and future of this ministry, and is an expression of gratitude, stewardship, and conscious participation in what we are creating together. So there are many ways to give, and that slide just flew on by. So that's okay, Jim. We can move on. And as you can go to unitysb.org, and the ushers will please begin the collection as Prissy shares a very, very, very powerful song.
Spoiler, Michael. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear the unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that our souls, scorned and scattered with scars, still tried with their last ounce of courage to dream
blessing for the offering, please. And the ushers will come forward. And we all remember it. We don't need the slide. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we share, and all that we receive. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we've each given individually or as part of an individual family. Now it's time to receive this offering together as a spiritual community. Thank you, God, for providing all the resources we need to continue to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in our world. Now, the children came in all by themselves. I didn't have to invite them. And if you'll stand and join hands, we'll close with a peace song, and then they'll lead us in the power of protection. And the peace begins right here and right now. Please join me in the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.